So, yeah, we've loaded in. Our player's Mr. Noir.
Mr. Noir will say that in the top we have from 3D Gaming. It's going to be the green term player Noname. And down on his luck a little bit is TomikuS from Kapsa. From Czech Republic, the teal Zerg on the right side. Now, as a Zerg player, you know, some Zergs can actually pull this off and successfully take a third at the gold base. I don't like to do it because versus better Terrans, you'll just lose the base anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, tank marine pushes on this map are actually good. Just because of the layout of the third bases, the Zolnaga tower, and the other third. They're actually good. And if not tank marine pushes, then you can just threaten that base with just medevac marine, just abusing the cliff there behind the minerals. And since, you know, any ground units from the Zerg would have to go all the way around, and you have the control of the Zolnaga watchtower as a Terran at that point in time, you can actually defend that position for long enough to either kill enough drones, force an evacuation, or kill the base outright. But as I said, good Zergs. Oh, look at this. This time Noname being a little bit more careful with that SCV and pulls that away. TomikuS still on it, however, and Noname might try to... No.
Repair good. Saves the SCV here. And this drone just turns away. Gonna run off now. Farewell, Mr. Droney. It was nice having you in the Terran base, but for no longer. Pool comes down now for TomikuS for a standard open hatch pool. See if she wants to take a gas or not.
You know, I wouldn't take a gas. I would just open gasless on this map, because it's really easy to constrict the ramp at your natural base with evolution chambers, and generally just 4 queens openings are really strong in terms of spreading creep. But also TomikuS is taking that gas. This kind of tells me that he's not going to be going for the cold. He's probably going to be taking the base over here, down here, the third base, because, you know, because of that gas, he won't have 4 queens, he will have 3 queens, and then eventually 4 and 5. So, you know, he won't be able to spread the creep as fast towards the third at the gold if he was to take that one there. Let's see if I'm right in my prediction, but it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does.
Thank you.
Reaper comes in here, going to just be the same as the last game, going to get deflected by some lings. You know, going to try and take one drone down, and the lings come out before you can even try to do that.
Whoa! That was... yeah, WTF. That should not ever happen.
I think he tried to shoot the drone, but his Reaper ran instead, and like it just got caught. And
yeah,
I think he must have misclicked and move commanded instead of actually clicking the drone, because he should have killed the drone at least.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Now TomikuS is still being pesky as ever with this drone, now at full health once again, going to be bothering this SCV at the expansion. And since there is an add-on building on the racks and there are no other units here for Noname, he has to bring back his Reaper. This is exactly the reason why some Terrans rally the second Reaper to the natural expansion instead of sending it to harass. And look at TomikuS sending his lings all across the map. What is he up to? He's also taking... oh, okay, that's just a gas with the drone at the Terran base.
It was nearly exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, but the command center is going to finish.
Yep, starport on the way down. So Hellion Banshee here once again. And yeah, this drone is actually on the extractor, so Reaper going to bash away at that, but Hellion's coming out, we'll just slowly get rid of this, and it's not the biggest deal in the world. You know, the Hellions aren't in a rush to get across the map, really.
Look at this! I was right! Yes! Yes!
Woo! I think it's actually impossible to defend that gold base with against Hellion Banshee, to be honest.
Against Banshees, it's very difficult. Very difficult.
Especially because it's so far, and the Banshees can so easily then go into the main, and then back, like... yeah. Like, you can just be so annoying with them, and... again, I think it's just so hard to get the creep up there as well. I mean, you can see the creep right now, it's barely at this third base.
Look at TomikuS preemptive strike, wow. USA style.
He keeps their Hellions alive though, and that's really important. Yeah. He will repair them up before moving across the map, but a nice little attack there. It also, you know, stops these Reapers coming for a bit longer and the Hellions, and gives him a little bit more time to get his creep set up over towards that third base, which is so important to hold the
So with the next larva pop, TomikuS should start making, basically turn all of his larvae into lings, or at least, you know, at least 3, 4, I mean 6, 8 of them, if not all. Because this is just about the Hellion timing, so he should produce lings right now. He's only making 6 and then 4 drones. He must be feeling very comfortable. I think, you know, these queens and the Spinecrawler here in the middle of nowhere are going to help a ton versus those Hellions. And TomikuS in a much better position compared to Polar Knight right now, because the creep connects the bases, he still has all these queens alive, and he will be able to defend versus the Banshee much better.
Yeah, the Spore Coil already in the main base too, and this Banshee not going to do anything in the main. It gets a couple of shots on the Queen, but now it retreats to the Spore Coil, and oh dear! Banshee has to be careful, loses a bit of HP on that. And yeah, Spinecrawler are very good at deflecting these Hellions, so TomikuS is going to make it to the mid game, and oh, Ling's in the natural again!
Yeah, he sent a couple of them there, taking down some SCVs, and yeah, you know, this is the one weakness of the mech play, that you basically cannot allow any lings into your onto your premises as you're building those factories, because it takes a lot of time. Then you have to get the add-ons, and then you have to wait for the units to actually pop out. And you know, all of this allows TomikuS to, look at this, drone up a little bit more, because he practically forced all the army of the Terran player to go back to deal with a couple of those lings, and Noname sarcastically saying, "You're so good."
So many.
But honestly, that was just a very smart play.
Look at the worker difference though, 61 to 33 blind counter. Like when is the most standard time style at the moment. So these guys not too happy with each other.
Yeah, and TomikuS is
side for one.
that's a valid point. When you play only one opening, then I find a way to counter it. That's pure and simple, just like that. You know, these guys, these players, the big difference between like an ordinary low master player who is very good mechanically, he knows his build orders and stuff, and between these guys that actually play for money regularly, and it's, you know, they compete at the top of their national level. They actually can make mental notes about what's happening in each game, and you know, then use that information in the next game. Sometimes they don't need to even watch the replays. They just remember the time. Okay, this happened at 7 minutes. This happened at 10 minutes. So, you know, and they can make adjustments on the fly. And this is exactly what TomikuS is doing right now. And immediately going into Infestation Pit, that's a very fast Infestation Pit. And he's going to be playing straight up Roaches and Hydras, because he knows his opponent is going to be meching.
Has he even got a Hydrogen down yet?
No, he should get that down. He should get that down.
He could just go pure Roach for a while. I mean, he could just rush to Swarm Hosts and just go Roach Swarm Host.
That's true.
This seems most probable with the fast Infestation pick, because you wouldn't really want Vipers if you just go in pure Roach. 4th base taking out the gold for TomikuS, and 3rd base taking out the gold for Noname. He'll be able to start moving across to there soon. Just invest in purely into 4s, but it's going to be a fast hive.
It's going to be a hive, so it's probably going. Oh, look at this, tunneling claws as well as pneumatized carapace and ventral sacs. Now this could just be TomikuS having a lot of money, because he did have a huge bank, and just trying to spend it on, like, you know, like, okay, I can spend it on this shit, no problem. I have the money, so why not? Or we could see roach drops with burrow play. And transitioning into something else, into some hive tech later on, and Scan coming down for Noname, and he's got to be like, what?
Yeah, this is real. I mean, TomikuS picks off Noname picks off an Overseer there, and I mean, Noname now moves out. He's got a couple of tanks. He's going to actually be able to defend between his natural and 3rd base quite easily. Turrets coming up as you need to stop from the you know, the burrow movement. And we see Ventral Sacs coming down as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how effective Overlord drops will be right now, though. You know, there's not that many siege tanks in the army, and there's multiple 4s as well. He could harass into the main base, though, which I'd actually love to see.
Yeah, me too. Now TomikuS is getting ready to basically hit the natural base the moment he sees this mech army moving out. But you know, I don't think Noname is going to be moving out. I think he's going to be playing a little bit defensive for a little while. Nope. Okay. Shit on my words, dude. You're a better player than I am, and you make the calls.
Well, I mean, he's got a scary army, and against pure roaches, you know, But I guess he doesn't know it's pure roaches. Oh dear, roaches are burrowed and they're
God.
coming forward, and the tanks, of course, they aren't sieged. Vikings land, he runs all the way back. The
They're
roach is
gonna be-
going to pop up at this third base, and that's a great way to do some harassment. All these SCVs
And look at
might
the
die.
lower flank. He can flank from the low from the south now.
Yeah, definitely, and that's exactly what he's going to try and do. He comes in before these tanks siege, and is it going to be enough? 1, 2 tanks go down very quickly here, and
Oh, the Thors as
Yeah.
well.
Paul's actually going to turn this around. I'm surprised TomikuS didn't commit any further.
Yeah, he
Look at the
definitely
supplies
could
bill.
have.
But, I mean, Noname is really struggling to build up his army at all, and TomikuS is just running away with this game, 4th base on the gold, and he's just going to build up such a huge bank here.
Yeah, 14 more roaches on the way. More upgrades rolling in, grooved spines, so he's moving into those hydras as we mentioned, and he's going to be, yeah, he already, and in fact he already has vipers on the field. Here is the roach drop. Now this is really a trademark of TomikuS' play. He's one of the very few Zergs that actually does this quite a lot. Roach drops, baneling, burrowed baneling bombs and stuff like that. He loves doing shit like this.
Yeah, then these roaches are heading towards the main base, or even could just drop off at the third. That being said, Noname is being aggressive here, and he sieges up this low ground. This is the problem with this third base,
Yeah.
the Zerg play against Mac. So, but I mean, this roach drop is going to force a reaction from Noname because he has nothing at home.
Yeah, and he sees it coming right now.
What's he going to do? I mean,
The
he could just try
migration of the
base trade.
swarm. There is nothing he can do at this point.
Just
All the
burn
roaches are
burn all
going
his
to unload.
SCVs.
And you know, this is the problem, because right now, Noname has no way of making his army any bigger. He's got no way of reinforcing this push. TomikuS is just going to take out all of his production. That's the goal of this drop.
Both get abducted, but it takes them a while to actually die off. But they will both die off here in the end. SCV's on our pull, so they're here to repair, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. So many roaches. That being said, these tanks are doing a decent amount of DPS, and so many spine crawls in the natural. It's fair to say TomikuS was ready for this.
Yeah, he definitely is, but is it going to be enough? I think it is. I mean, the best Noname can hope for is take out the third base. He's definitely not moving up that ramp. Meanwhile, TomikuS has taken out all the factories in the main base of Noname, and the command center has been forced to lift off, and now TomikuS can switch into, you know, air or hydras or whatever and finish up the buildings, because there is no way any army units are getting on the field. And if we take a look at the army supply, it's 26 versus 92, Wardy.
These spine crawlers were game changing because, you know, if he had all his tanks.
Well played, called by Noname, and TomikuS